Welcome everyone, this is Toy-Nutz. I just got back from the 2023 JoeFest in Augusta, Georgia. This is a G.I. Joe toy comic convention that's held in Augusta every year now for the last, I think they said 3 years. This is my first time attending. This is the line to get in on the Friday early bird preview day. This year, one of the featured guests was Sergeant Slaughter, who was great to meet. They had other voice actors. Kiona Young did the voice of Storm Shadow in the original cartoon, the original voice of Zarana, Jim from Jim and the Holograms, and they had a couple other non-G.I. Joe voice actors, lots of artists, Adam Ritchie's, Larry Hama, Todd Pennington from the original Joe line, designer. This is a really cool convention. Like I said, name the toy, it was pretty much represented. 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, it was a really good convention. I highly recommend if you have a chance to jump out and get to one of these, definitely do it. Was definitely worth the price of admission. I'll drop all the links and the information for the next year's show in the comments below. I'm a big Joe collector. I've been to all the previous Joe cons put on by Hasbro and the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. And this is a nice successor to that. Not as big as the old Joe cons, but that's understandable. I mean, you don't have the presence of Hasbro being there, but we did have Valiverse in the Action Force line. Project Longbow and their setup was here, previewing what they have. Fresh Monkey Fiction with the Eagle Force line was here, and of course Marauder Johns, they were there with their line of figures and their weapons. So I mean, dealer wise, like I said, just about everything, comic books, pops, Transformers, it was all represented with a nice heavy lean towards the Joe line, but it wasn't just predominantly G.I. Joe. And like any good convention, it's one that you have to dig through and look around and do multiple passes through all these booths to find the hidden gems. And there were some hidden gems. Prices are all over the board, from, top of the line eBay crazy prices to, you can find some really good things at really good prices. At the end of the video, I'll show you everything I was able to pick up and get autographed. But yeah, like I said, as you can see, they got ponies, there was Littlest Pet Shops, Barbies, you name it, everything was here. It's a really cool convention with just about every type of dealer and vendor that you could ask for. One of the main booths that you see when you first come in was the Valiverse booth here. They premiered and unveiled their new vehicle line that they're going to be doing. They showed their PowerCon exclusive figure and several other new figures that will be coming out later this year, early next year. Really cool display, had a really good panel. These guys were really great to chat with, very friendly and open. Just a really cool booth setup. And of course, they were selling many of the things that you see here on the table. And they had this really nice, cool diorama set up with all their figures. Several booths did have like little mini dioramas and setups and that, which was really nice to see. And again, they had a really great panel showing their future products. Just a really cool setup, really cool show. I mean, this was just really impressed with this show. This is my first time ever going to the JoeFest, but it will not be the last. I will be there next year. And some of the other celebrities that they had here was the gentleman that played Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. He was here selling products and signing merch. One of the actors from one of the played Jason in the Friday the 13th movies, and that he was in like 2 or 3 of them. He was there signing. He was always busy throughout the day. Both of them were, so that was really cool to see. And another thing that were set up, there were several of these vendors that were 3D printers, and they customized their own 3D printed vehicles, weapons, figures, and gear. Several of those were set up throughout the show, which was also a neat thing to see. So yeah, just a really great, mix of just about everything for just about every scale of figure, from 12-inch down to the 3 3/4 O-ring. Yeah, just really fun. I do love this aspect of shows now. One of my favorite booths here is J.E. Russell and his Chicken Fried Toys with their Western line of figures. And on Saturday, they announced that they were going to be doing a line of Cops and Crooks figures. So yeah, these guys were great. They brought in Keanu Young, the voice of Storm Shadow. They made a figure of him for the Chicken Fried Toy line, and that just, really cool group of guys here. Great small little company. If you get a chance, check out their figures. I highly suggest getting them. They're great quality. And again, you'll find everything from the rarest of rares to the most common of common figures, especially with the Joe stuff. There were some I have not seen except for online, and they were here at the show. And again, prices were, like I said, outrageously crazy to, are you sure you want to sell this for this price? Yeah, deals were to be had. Bins and bags and racks were to be gone through, because like I said, you just gotta look, you gotta dig. But that's like pretty much a rule for just about any convention and toy show that you go to. Another line of figures coming out by this new startup company, Delta 7. Great guys to talk with. Cannot wait to see what they're coming out with when their figures drop. They said they'll be starting a Kickstarter for the line here pretty soon. But yeah, like I said, this is a great show. I was really impressed. They had at least 2 giant booths of nothing but old comics. Yeah, just really fun. Dean Morrison here in his booth. He was making and wheeling and dealing. You had a problem, you didn't like a price, just talk to him. He would drop you down. He'd make you awesome deals. And as I said, it's something for everyone. They had this giant booth with nothing but squishmallows and anime stuff. The kids were loving that on Saturday. They did actually a really good job talking with the one guy. So, like I said, something for everyone, which is always great to see. Another fun booth to hit. This guy had nothing but $6 million man stuff. I mean, this guy just had about everything, and a lot of it was signed by Lee Majors. And it was just really cool chatting with this guy and everything. He had several figures that were in really good shape, but some of them were in repo boxes. But he was letting everybody know, this is a reproduction box with a real figure in it, though, and that. But yeah, just a really cool guy to hang with and talk with throughout the show, and just looking at his collection, it's just really cool. As I said, the guys from Operation Longbow here, they were here showing off some of their early test shots and lots of their early artwork and everything. Their Kickstarter finished. Everything's funded. The figures are pretty much in production now. These were a great group of guys. Their pre-orders now open on their store, like their sign here says. They were really cool. The Skeletron group was here. That thing looks really cool. Again, they're moving along pretty good. Their Kickstarter finished. They're working on getting the rest of the line finished off here with the figures, and they'll be shipping out pretty soon, they said. Again, another great group of guys to support and to hang with. They showed off their O-ring figures to go with their Skeletron ship. I mean, it's just, yeah, this is a really cool group of people. And they were located next to some of my favorite guys. I met these guys at one of the early Joe Cons. Been hanging with them and talking with them ever since. And that's Marauders, the Gun Runners. They were showing off everything that they have in stock and what they're coming out with. I mean, just great group of guys to hang with. Again, another group of people I think you should be supporting and looking out on. I mean, great group, great awesome products. I mean, their weapons, their gears, just, you know, great group of guys. And the guys from Ego Force / Fresh Monkey Fiction were here showing off their new line of figures, available through Big Bad Toys Store and, of course, their website. These guys were really awesome to chat and hang with. Picked up their show exclusive Bullet Man figure. They had a special Larry Hama figure for you to pick up and have autographed by them. But yeah, just great group of guys, great line. This gentleman here was Extensive Enterprises on Whatnot. He was selling third-party Black Major Cobra Vipers and Cobra Bats, specially painted up in that for him. He has like these Death Troopers, Batman Bats, Boba Fett Vipers. I mean, just really cool little thing. And then again, he was partnered with these guys here who were making 3D play sets and such. Again, it was really cool seeing that. I do like seeing more and more of these third-party at-home printers, manufacturers, and that selling their wares and their goods. It's just something cool to see, and it really helps the hobby grow. And the finest was here. These are the people that like to, cosplay as G.I. Joe and Cobra characters. They bring vehicles and things. Let people take pictures and that. I mean, just great group of people, just like the 501st. Great weekend, had a blast, and highly recommend this show if you ever get a chance to go. Here's some of the items I was able to pick up from the convention. Got the Lone Wolf Toys custom printed Zarana figure. Got a couple of those loose O-ring figures there for about $5 a piece, except for that Shockwave. I only paid about $60 for him, but it helped knock off a complete Night Force set for me now. Was able to get the show exclusive Bullet Man. That Cobra Basilisk in the back was less than $25. Got the custom class exclusive figure there. And then I got the Captain Bob Gambler file card made by the guys over on the G.I. Joe Matoys Facebook page. Then I was able to find these collector cases for a little under $10 a pop, and I was on Sunday getting ready to leave. A guy wanted to dump these figures. I was able to pick those up for about $8 each. Good thing on those cases, the insides here looked really great. No cracks, and plastic wasn't too brittle, so had to pick those up. Then I also was able to find this 40th anniversary G.I. Joe set. I already have it, but for the price, I could not just let it stay there. Then I was also able to meet several of the celebrities they brought in. I had the voice of Jim from Jim and the Hologram, signed a couple of figures. I got these. She was really great to meet. Was also able to meet Larry Hama again. I met him at all the old Joe cons and that, so didn't really have anything else for him to sign, but when the Super 7 figure came out, I knew that had to get signed. And of course, had to have the voice of Storm Shadow sign me a figure. This is just a custom recard of a Black Major figure, but works for me. And then this is a custom Zarana I made. The figure's head is from Lone Wolf Toys. Vintage Zarana body I repainted. Threw it on a convention card in bubble. Then I was able to meet Sarge. My only complaint for the whole weekend is they had a breakfast with Sarge deal. It was an extra like $100. When you signed up, it said it was a meet and greet and breakfast with Sarge. But when we got there, the meet and greet was canceled. It said no photos, no autographs allowed. Sarge just talked and everything, and then they gave us like a $20 discount on the autograph package. That was really crummy of the guy that is now handling Sarge's autographs and things like that. It's from what I've heard, this is something that's new at all of his conventions. I went with the autograph package anyways because you got that little challenge coin when he puts you in the camel clutch, and so now I'm part of the Sarge's camel clutch club or whatever. It was all right. But like I said, that whole breakfast with the Sarge thing was a disaster and really left a sour taste in my mouth. But it does not put a damper on the show itself and is not indicative of the show itself. Again, from everything I've read online, that is this guy that is now handling Slaughter's affairs. So please do not let that cloud your judgment of going to JoeFest. Again, great show. Thank you guys for putting this on. Really loved it. I want to say thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like, hit that subscribe button, drop comments below if you were there, what you thought of JoeFest. And again, definitely try to make it next year. I'll drop all the info in the descriptions below. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful day, and Excelsior!